Good day, subscribers. Thank you so much for joining me today. I am Jeremy. This is the Financial Education Channel, and today we're doing Stock Market Weekly Recap number 31 ever in history, guys. We're taking a look at what happened in the September 23rd week. We're going to look at what the markets did overall, what stocks went up and down the most. We're going to look at some of the biggest news stories I was paying attention to this week, which we had quite a few of them. And what do we have to look forward to in next week, guys? So let's go ahead and get straight into this. The Dow Jones this week had a pretty good week, up 0.36%. We had the NASDAQ down 0.33%. And we had the S&P 500 up 0.08%. So not big week in the markets as far as big moves. Now, as far as some of the stocks that went up and down the most, look at Revlon here. Revlon went up almost 24% this week. It's still having a horrible year to date. Look at the year to date. It's still down 31%. But this week was a phenomenal week for that stock. Hertz Global Holdings, this one was up 14.49% this week. We had Equifax bounce back with this pretty strong week. You know that one's been in the news for all the negativity around it. This one went up almost 13% this week. We had Sprint up this week over 10%. So a good week for Sprint. I feel like I just remember that one at $3 or $4 a share like yesterday. Now, as far as the downside movers, we had Pier 1 Imports down over 20% this week. Tough week for Pier 1. We had Blue Apron, one of the worst IPOs I've ever seen in history. This one went down another 14% this week. What a disaster. Vitamin Shop, this one went down 11.57%. And then good old Snapchat. Snapchat, another horrible IPO one, went down over 10% here. So that's what the markets did this week. That's some of the stocks that went up and down the most. Now let's look at some of these biggest news stories I was paying attention to this week. It was mostly around retail as far as the biggest story I was paying attention to. So Toys R Us. Toys R Us, they're filing for bankruptcy. They're supposed to still have their stores open and whatnot. They're trying to restructure this debt. This company has massive amounts of debt. We'll get back to them in just a second. Also, I saw that Walmart will not be hiring for the holidays. They're talking about they're just going to give more more hours to their current employees. We're going to talk about that. Amazon's talking about bringing 2,000 new jobs in advertising and fashion in New York City. And then obviously Amazon, this was actually a couple of weeks ago news, but I just want to tie it in with this whole story. It is announced they're going to have a second headquarters now, and that's going to be about 50,000 jobs. So a bunch of states are competing for this. So I want to touch on all this. This is the retail Armageddon, I call it. You know, I've been talking about this for over a year now. What's going on with retail? It's just a disaster. And Amazon is the main culprit that's taking down these guys. I mean, it's the whole e-commerce play, but mainly it's Amazon taking down these guys. We see Toys R Us, you know, the biggest name in North America as far as toys go, filing for bankruptcy. You know, so many of these retailers are so heavily leveraged with debt because they were so focused on building out stores, and they couldn't build them fast enough, so they took out massive amounts of debt. And Toys R Us did a leverage buyout a few years ago, and it just made it even a bigger mess. Well, probably over a decade ago now it's been. And so a lot of these retail stocks, they can't compete, not only because they don't have the vision to compete, and they should have been focusing around e-commerce a long time ago, but they also can't compete because a lot of them have so much in debt that it doesn't allow them to even compete in this. So with Toys R Us here, maybe they can stay in business still and restructure that debt. But I mean, that's just kicking the can a little further down the road, in my opinion, with a lot of these companies. Unless they, you know, come with some type of miraculous recovery, they're going out of business. And, you know, maybe it's not this year, maybe it's next year, maybe it's 5 years from now, maybe it's 10 years from now, who knows? But they're probably going to go under unless they somehow recover that business, which is going to be hard to do when you got $5 billion plus in debt like they do. And then Walmart, we saw with Walmart there, they're not even hiring seasonal help. Now they're talking about giving their current employees more hours, which I think is actually a good move. But at the same time, they wouldn't just not hire more employees unless they figure holiday sales are just going to be okay, maybe flattish from last year, maybe even down or something like that, guys. There's no way they expect, you know, revenues to explode over the holidays versus the previous years unless they would be hiring at the end of the day. I know they give the answer, oh, we'll just give them more hours, and I agree with that. But at the same time, if you're really expecting a gangbuster type Christmas, you're going to hire more employees at the end of the day. So just kind of tying that in with the Toys R Us, and you can can just kind of see what's going on with retail. It's obvious. And then we see Amazon. You know, on the other side, you know, they just announced they're going to hire another 2,000 people for advertising and fashion in New York City. They got 50,000 job openings, 50,000 job openings for that new second headquarters they're going to have, which is, a ton of different states are competing. I know my state, Las Vegas, is competing. I know my old state, I grew up in, Phoenix, Arizona, is competing. There's so many states that want Amazon there, and we just see, you know, Amazon dominating, and these other ones, they're just floundering. It's life and death. Retail, at the end of the day, it's life and death, man. Some of these big giants, they just die, and it'll be interesting, you know, 20, 30, 40, 50 years from now when all of a sudden Amazon will be the one that's dying and somebody came and knocked off Amazon, guys. Things move fast in retail. It doesn't take, you know, 100 years to get knocked off. It takes maybe 20 or 30 years, and you could have been the big player and then you get knocked off by somebody else. The next biggest news story, this one affects me big time, was GoPro Hero 6 has been leaked. Now, I did a video on this about the picture, but there were several videos uploaded on YouTube this week, guys, showing actual unboxing of the GoPro Hero 6. There were some retailers out there that already put them on the shelf, which is like mind-blowing to me that some of these cameras actually got on the shelves and actually got sold when this product hasn't even been shown off yet. Guys, this product has not even been shown off yet. This is mind-blowing to me as a GoPro shareholder and just as someone that pays attention to electronics. I mean, I've never heard of something like this happening where products get sold not only before they were supposed to be on sale, but before they were even announced officially. Never seen something like this. All those videos were taken down off YouTube. There was at least 3 of them I watched from 3 different people that had posted unboxing videos of the Hero 6 that had got them at their local retailer. All those videos have been taken down. I'm not sure if GoPro saw them and had them taken down from YouTube or whatnot, or if, I don't know, you know, maybe the retailers had them take it down because maybe they can get sued for this or something. I have no clue what the repercussions or whatnot are, but all those videos have been taken down because I looked for them all. I even sent them to friends and whatnot, and when I try to click on the links now, it just says it's no longer available. So that was a huge news story this week. Something else I was paying attention to is Nvidia. So on Monday, Nvidia hit an all-time high, guys, an all-time high, the highest the stock has ever been. This one has just been a beast. I mean, we see it's up 67% year to date. It's absolutely insane. So just kind of paying attention to that one. And I had a random dream about Nvidia that it dropped 30% in a day. Highly doubt that dream will come true, but I just wanted to randomly tell you about my dream there. So as far as this upcoming week, what are we paying attention to? Well, GoPro Hero 6 is supposed to launch on September 28th. So that should be on, I think that's Thursday. I believe that's Thursday, Wednesday or Thursday. I believe it's Thursday. They should be showing off. I'm not sure if they're having an event or they're just going to do a YouTube video type deal. That's obviously huge for me as my #1 investment. The second story I'll be paying attention to this week is Congress and Trump are supposed to come out with a new tax reform possibly this week that they're supposed to show off. The plan will probably include proposals for marginal tax rates or ranges and things like that, general tax framework. They're not talking about, this is probably not going to be about where the money's going to come out of or how this is going to affect budgets and things like that. This is just general framework stuff. I know Trump has talked about 15% tax rate on corporations, which would be, you know, a huge boost to the markets and a huge boost to corporations. I highly doubt, I highly doubt he'll be able to get 15%. I'm thinking they will, the Republicans will probably be able to get it down to maybe a 25% tax rate. Maybe they'll knock out some of the loopholes, which they should, in my opinion. If they're going to drop the rates down, they should knock out some of those loopholes because we still need to collect that corporate tax money at the end of the day somehow. So we shall see what happens there, but I definitely will be paying attention to that this week. And then the last thing is North Korea. North Korea, always have to keep an eye over there. So now they're talking about testing a hydrogen bomb over the Pacific Ocean, guys. So this is just a mess. You know, it's just threats after threats, and there's more sanctions coming, and it's just a crazy situation. So it's something I'm always keeping an eye on, guys. So anyways, that's what we had going on this week. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Hit a thumbs up if you enjoyed. Let me know if there's anything you thought was really big news this week. Leave that in the comment section. If there's something you're paying attention to next week that I didn't mention, please leave that in the comment section. I would love to hear from you guys. I love hearing what you're kind of paying attention to and whatnot. If you just came across this channel, you may want to subscribe. We talk business on this channel. We talk entrepreneurship on this channel. We talk stock market investing and personal finance. Why did I say 4 things? We only talked 3 things. I included business with entrepreneurship. Thank you for watching, guys, and have a great day.